Dyslexia is a term commonly used within the medical setting. This PowerPoint will help put dyslexia in perspective with what is considered best practice in the school setting. The International Dyslexia Association defines dyslexia as a specific learning disability that is neurobiological in origin. It is characterized by difficulties with accurate and/or fluent word recognition and by poor spelling and decoding abilities. These difficulties typically arise from a deficit in the phonological component of language that is often unexpected in relation to other cognitive abilities and the provision of effective classroom instruction. Secondary consequences may include problems in reading comprehension and reduced reading experience that can impede growth of vocabulary and background knowledge. Dyslexia is often used interchangeably with a reading disability and would be included as a subset of a specific learning disability in reading under Indiana's Article 7. The term dyslexia is commonly used in medical settings. Some early indicators of a possible reading problem include difficulty reading single words, difficulty decoding nonsense words. Reading comprehension might be better developed than the student's decoding skills. Student may have inaccurate and labored oral reading, or may have trouble reading small function words such as that, is, and an. The student may have slow reading and poor spelling. Weak vocabulary development, fewer reading opportunities outside of school, and poor motivation and confidence are also identifying characteristics. There are 3 patterns of word identification. Phonological code uses sound patterns to identify words. Orthographic code uses visual contour and shapes to identify words, and semantic code uses meaning of text to identify words by anticipating what word should come next. Students who primarily rely on the semantic code may often mask a real reading problem. Good readers use all 3 patterns efficiently. The 3 necessary components of reading are decoding, fluency, and comprehension, and they are all equally important. In the school setting, the response to instruction process helps identify at-risk readers and develop interventions to match individual student needs. Tier 1 is designed for all learners and meets the needs for 80% of all students. Tier 2 instruction is designed to provide strategic, targeted extensions to the core curriculum. Tier 3 instruction is designed as intense intervention and extensions to meet individual needs. Some examples of possible interventions at each tier are noted in the chart. In most settings, Title I is an extension of the core curriculum in Tier 1. It is typically not designed to provide individualized target instruction in phonemic, decoding, fluency, and comprehension. In Tier 2, the intervention is matched to specific student needs based on data obtained through the universal screenings. A multi-tiered model is considered the best practice in identifying and remediating reading problems, including those early characteristics of dyslexia. This graph shows progress monitoring of a student's oral reading fluency growth. Since the majority of the data points are above the goal line, the student is considered to be making adequate growth. This graph shows a student's lack of progress in oral reading fluency, as all the data points are below the expected goal line. This pattern of minimal growth when placed on a targeted Tier 2 intervention, implemented with fidelity, may indicate a need for change in intervention or intensity of the intervention. A consistent pattern of minimal growth may indicate the presence of a learning disability in reading, which may include dyslexia. The intervention should be implemented with fidelity, 20 to 30 minutes daily outside the core curriculum. Some examples of intervention for this age are listed, such as aerobics, fast forward, lips, Linda Mood Seeing Stars, Lexia, Horizon, Ladders to Literacy, and Road to the Code. Common interventions for this age include Read Naturally, Reading Center, Fast Track Reading, and repeated readings. As children get older, phonics-based programs become less effective. Older students may need to focus on learning morphemes, prefixes, and suffixes. Classroom modifications are important for students with significant reading difficulties. Preferential seating is beneficial for students with auditory processing difficulties. They often need quieter spaces to practice reading because they could have trouble differentiating sounds in the presence of background noise. Students with attention problems and reading problems combined would also benefit from less distractions and noise. Additional classroom modifications include varying the assessment methods, building in breaks, and considering support for spelling difficulties. You may find additional strategies and resources for reading on the following sites.